Okay. Very good morning, all. Again, this is our first lesson: human resource management, performance evaluation, and management. Today we are going to discuss about the first session and the first session. Introduction to performance evaluation and management. These are the intended learning outcomes of the today's session. What is performance evaluation means, and describe difference between performance appraisal or performance evaluation and performance management. Describe the nature of performance evaluation, list of characteristics of formal performance evaluation. Then discuss the importance of performance evaluation, as well as some theories directly relating to the performance evaluation and management. Then we are going to describe the role of top managers, line managers, and HR specialists, and the overall employees in the performance evaluation and management. Moving to the first part, definition of human performance evaluation and management. I think with the basic understanding about the management, principles of management, and the basic understanding of introduction part of the human resource management, and not only that, the previous subject you learn the human resource planning and staffing. Now you may heard several times the term of performance evaluation and management. Basically, before discuss about the performance evaluation and management, we are going to discuss about the performance evaluation. There are two terms, performance and evaluation. Starting with the verb evaluation, we are going to firstly focus on the evaluation. What is evaluation? Not the evolution, evaluation. ඇගීම කාර්යඵල ඇගීම කියන කාරණාව ඉගෙන ගනිද්දී අපිට මූලික පද දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මේ පද දෙක තුලින් අපිට පුළුවන් අවබෝධයක් ගන්න performance and evaluation, කාර්යඵල ඇගීම. Firstly, we are focusing on the evaluation. Evaluation is what? According to Dale, 1980, evaluation is a process of collecting evidence and using it to judge the degree of goodness or worth of the entity being evaluated for the various types of decision making. In here, we can identify there are several things in this definition. We are going to discuss about the evaluation. Under the evaluation, it is a process. Process means under the human resource management, several processes we learn. In here, evaluation is also a process. Process means there are several steps or series of actions to be completed with the certain goals or objectives need to be attained. Process ක්‍රියාවලියක්. Evaluation is also a process. ඇගීම කියලා කියන්නේ ක්‍රියාවලියක්. ක්‍රියාවලියක් කියන එකේ මූලික අදහස තමයි එකිනෙකට සම්බන්ධ කාර්යයන් කිහිපයක් සම්බන්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. What to achieve certain goals or objectives. Process is a series of actions or series of steps to be followed to attain the established goals or objectives. Then process for what? The second part is collecting evidence or evidences. Collecting evidences. සාක්ෂි එකතු කිරීමක් නැත්නම් සාධක එකතු කිරීමක් සම්බන්ධ. Process, it is not a single action or it is not a single step. Evaluation is a series of actions or series of steps. For what? To collecting evidences, and we use these collected evidences to judge the degree of goodness or worth of the entity. In here, we are going to evaluate employee performance evaluation. Entity mean the the person we are going to evaluate. It means the employee being evaluated for the various types of decision making. Finally, we are using these collected evidences to take several important decisions related to the management or human resource management. ඇගීම කියලා කියන්නේ මේකෙදි ක්‍රියාවලියක්. ඒ ක්‍රියාවලිය තුල තියෙන කාර්යයන් කීපයක්. As you already aware, the general management is also we can identify as a process. කළමනාකරණය කියන්නේ ක්‍රියාවලියක් විදිහට අඳුරගත්ත නිසා මේ ක්‍රියාවලිය පිළිබඳව නැවත හඳුන්වා දීමක් කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. Collecting evidences, අපි මේ process එක ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ evidences collect කරන්න. සාක්ෂි නැත්නම් සාධක එකතු කරන්න මොනවා සම්බන්ධයෙන්ද? මොකක් හරි evidence entity එකක් සම්බන්ධයෙන්. මොනවා හරි ඒකකයක් සම්බන්ධයෙන් සාධක එකතු කිරීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියකට අපි කියනවා ඇගීමක් කියලා. Evaluation. මේ සාධක එකතු කිරීම කරන්නේ to judge තීරණය කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඒකේ තියෙන ගුණ අගුණ හෝ වැදගත්කම සම්බන්ධ. Then we are going to use this collected evidence to take some important decisions. මේ එකතු කරගත්ත තොරතුරු අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා විවිධ තීරණ ගැනීම සම්බන්ධ. Then the second point of under the evaluation is a process of collecting evidence and using such evidence against determine norms, standards to judge the degree of goodness or worth of the entity. The same thing, but in here, detailed descriptions about the decision making. What we are going to decide by using these collected evidences to determine norms, standards, and judge the degree of goodness or worth. What type of decisions we are going to take by using these collected evidences? Those are determine norms, standards, and judge the degree of goodness or worth of the entity. That is evaluation. Then the second term, not the second term, in our keyword, the first term is performance. Now we got the correct idea about the evaluation. Then with that, we are moving to the first term is performance. Performance is often identified simply in output terms. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කාර්යඵල කියන එක අපි වචනේ දැකපු ගමන් අපි තේරුම් ගන්නේ අවසාන ප්‍රතිඵලය, කාර්ය ඵලය. අවසාන ප්‍රතිඵලය කියන එක නැත්නම් output එක ගැන විතරයි. But in here performance is not what people achieve, not only what people achieve. It's also matter, but we are focusing on both what people achieve and how they achieve it. There are two concerns. The first one is what people achieve. It means output. Then the second concern is how they achieve it. It is good way or bad way. If the people achieve the expected outcomes, but in a wrong way, in your life is also, you need to earn money. But we have several ways. We have many ways to earn money. If you earn more money, it is good. But we need to concern about how you earn money. It may be good way or bad. If you earn money by using unethical way or bad ways, we cannot say you are the good performer or well performer. In the output terms, you are the good person because you earn money. But with the second concern, how you earn money, there are two questions. Did you earn money and how you earn money? Did you earn money? Yes, it is good. But with the second questions, you are failed. If you earn money with the unethical way or bad way, it is not good. Your performance is failed. Therefore, we need to concern under the performance, not only the output terms, what you achieve, but also we need to concern how you achieve it. Both are important in the performance terms. Therefore, under the performance evaluation, we must examine both what and how. What and how. What results and how those results are attained. As the example, results is earn more money. But how you earn money, you have two options: ethically and unethical. But if you earn more money in an ethical way, it is good. You are well performed. Society and all other parties need to appreciate your money. But if you earn money in unethical way or bad way, it is not appreciable. Therefore, the performance must examine both what results and how results are attained. With that understanding, now we can move to the definition part of the performance evaluation. In here, academically, when we are examining the performance evaluation, we can find several definitions for the performance evaluation, because performance evaluation is a well-established field of in human resource management. Therefore, there are several definitions we can find in the field of human resource management. According to Bluick, 1979, employee performance evaluation is defined as personnel activity by means of which the enterprise determines the extent to which employee performing the job effectively. In here also, emphasize what is the meaning of evaluation. Determining extent to which employee performing the job effectively. Effectively means the way of achieving your expected outcomes. And extent mean how. What extent? Earn more money or less money? Earn more profit or less profit? Profit or loss? But how you earn effectively or not? In here, the bold terms are, it is as a personnel activity. Personnel means human resource function. Performance evaluation is a human resource management function. Performance evaluation කියන එක නිර්වචනය කරගන්න යද්දී අපිට අඳුන ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා performance evaluation විවිධ විදියට නිර්වචනය කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට හේතුව performance evaluation කියලා කියන්නේ අලුත් ශේෂ්ත්‍රයක් නෙවෙයි. මානව සම්පත් කළමනාකරණයටත් වඩා සමහර වෙලාවට performance evaluation කියන විශේෂ ශේෂ්ත්‍රය නැත්නම් performance evaluation කියන එක ශේෂ්ත්‍රය පරණයි කියලා අඳුර ගන්නත් අපිට සමහර සාධක තියෙනවා. නමුත් ඒ ඉතිහාසයේ කොහොම වුණත් performance evaluation කියන එක අවසානයේ අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ well established. බොහොම සම්මත බොහොම established වෙච්ච field එකක් විදියට. ඒ නිසා අපිට පුළුවන් performance evaluation කියන එක සම්බන්ධයෙන් විවිධ නිර්වචන අඳුනා ගන්න. ඒ නිර්වචන අතරින් පළවෙනි එක තමයි අපි කතා කරේ. Performance evaluation is defined as a personnel activity. And in this definition also highlighted extent and the effectiveness. Effectiveness focus on how, and extent mean what. What extent? කොච්චර දුරට ප්‍රතිඵලය අපේක්ෂිත ප්‍රතිඵලය ළඟා කරගත්තද කියන එක සහ ඒකට කොච්චර සම්පත් වැය වුණාද නැත්නම් මොන ක්‍රමවේදයෙන්ද ඒක ළඟා කරගත්තේ කියන එක තමයි effectiveness. උඩින් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මේ කියන කාරණා තුන පළවෙනි performance evaluation definition එක තුලින් අපිට අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවාද කාරණා තුන? personnel activity එක human resource මානව සම්පත් කළමනාකරණය කියන පුළුල් විශේෂේෂ්ත්‍රයට අදාළ වෙන එක function එකක් නැත්නම් ක්‍රියාවලියක්. And it concern both extent and the effectiveness. Extent mean what extent, and the effectiveness mean how you achieve it. These three are highlighted in this definition. The second definition, Schuler, employees performance appraisal is in here. The different term. In next few slides, you will learn the appraisal can also use as an alternative term for the evaluation. Therefore, employees performance appraisal or employee performance evaluation is a system. In here, the other new term is a system of the system is for what? Measuring, evaluating, influencing, and employees job related attributes. Job related attributes. We are going to in next few sessions we will discuss the job related attributes and the what's the we are already familiar with the evaluation. We need to discuss about the system measuring how it influencing to the employee job related attributes, behaviors and results. More focus on the behaviors, results, absenteeism, and discover at what level employees presently performing on the job. Performance is a broad term where we can divide it into several parts. Under the performance, we can evaluate the performance by examining the job related attributes, behaviors, outcomes like absenteeism and presenteeism, results, number of units produced. Likewise, we can use several terms. Okay, now there are several messages in the chat box. There are Tamil students in here. They notice that they can't understand Sinhala. I use both languages, Sinhala and English. All the important points of the subject related matters will be highlighted by using English language. I think it's fair. If you have any questions relating to this, you can unmute yourself and talk anytime. And if you are not talking, you can chat with by using the chat box. The primary purpose of this course is the understanding and the knowledge sharing. Personally, I believe that these both languages are very familiar with you, but in here there are few students who can't understand Sinhala. Basically, I focus on the English language. Then, if you have any questions further, you can unmute yourself and talk with me. And also, you can use the chat box. The definition for the performance evaluation. Performance evaluation is a process. In here, main concern is a process. What is a process? I think now you are familiar with several processes. At the beginning, I have highlighted that the prerequisite processes are basic principles of management course, which you learn in your first year, first semester. In here, detailed discussion about the management process. There are 4 management functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. All these management functions or management activities are interrelated, work together to achieve common goals and objectives. Processes, the simple definition for the process is what? The series of actions or series of steps to be followed to achieve the established, to attain the established goals and objectives. Then in here, performance evaluation is also identified as a process. By considering all above definitions, we can identify three main characteristics. It is the PE as a performance management, performance evaluation or performance management as a personal activity. It is a system as well as the process. Personal activity, I think you already familiar with the personal activity. Personal activity, it is it means the personal the performance evaluation and management is also the human resource management function. This performance evaluation and management is also basically focused on to attain the strategic goals of human resource management and generic purpose of human resource management. To achieve the generic purpose of human resource management, we are using these HRM functions to achieve strategic goals of human resource management. I think you may aware about the strategic goals of management. To achieve the strategic goals of human resource management, there are several HRM functions we need to follow. Under the human resource functions, human resource management as a key human resource management function, we can identify the performance evaluation and management. Any questions? I think one of you unmute yourself. Any questions up to now? Okay, I think you all are with me this 1.5 hours. Okay, we are discussing about the performance, the definition of performance evaluation. By examining all the human resource, most of definitions for the performance evaluation and management, we can identify three main characteristics. One of the first one is it is a personnel activity. Personnel, not the personal. Personnel means this human resource management function. System means a set of interrelated principles and procedures to do some actions. Performance evaluation, in here evaluation is we can identify as a verb, therefore performance evaluation is also a function. With the first concern, it is an personnel activity. It's also highlighted that it is a function. Then when we are doing this performance evaluation, we need to follow some principles, basic principles and procedures. Procedures mean the set of rules and the way of doing something that was agreed with everyone in this, in that system. University system, we are doing lectures with that system. Sorry. We have several principles. We have set of norms. We have set of values. By with that basic understanding of this set of principles, set of values, we are doing several actions. When we are conducting exams, we have several procedures need to follow. These all are well established and agreed among all others. When I am doing exams for this subject, I also cannot violate this set of rules and regulations, because I and you are the part of this university system. I think you are clear with performance evaluation is also a system. Therefore, they have their own set of principles, rules and regulations, procedures need to be followed when they are doing performance evaluation. Process, I think I already discussed. Series of actions need to be followed when we are doing performance evaluation. Therefore, we can identify performance evaluation is also as a process. Moving to the next, we can organize our final definitions for the performance evaluation as Senior Professor Upath in 2009. Employee performance evaluation is defined as a systematic. Systematic means it is a system. There are a set of rules and regulations as well as process, set series of actions. For part, identifying, measuring, influencing, and developing. These are the actions we are doing under the performance evaluation. Developing job performance of the employees in organization in relation to the set of norms. As a part of system, we have set of norms. As a part of system, we have set of standards, performance standards, and particular period of for a particular period of time. It may be 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, likewise, agreed period of time in order to achieve various purposes. We are detailed, we have separate sessions on purposes of performance evaluation and management. Under that session, we will discuss about the purposes of performance evaluation. Then this is the final definitions we are going to use in this course. If I ask what is performance evaluation, this definition need to be used in this course, because this is the recommended definition for this course. We are going to elaborate and we are going to take more understanding about the performance evaluation and management based on this definition. This is the working definition for this course for the performance evaluation and management. Then terms of performance evaluation, there are several terms. There are some differences between performance evaluation and performance management, but in here, as last part, we are using performance evaluation and management in broad term in this course. before, but we are using performance evaluation and management in the basic concepts of this course, but we need to have another alternative. We need to aware about other alternative terms of for the performance evaluation. For that, we can identify several other terms to be can be used to for the performance evaluation: performance appraisal, merit rating, employee assessment, staff assessment, employee evaluation, performance rating. These are the alternative terms for the performance evaluation. In here, the term used this course is performance evaluation. It is mean that performance evaluation and management involved. Okay. Before moving to the theoretical part and the importance of performance evaluation, we need to have proper understanding about the distinguish between the performance appraisal or performance evaluation and performance management. In here, performance appraisal is alternative term for the performance evaluation. Performance evaluation. When we are focusing on performance evaluation, it can be identified as a top-down assessment. It means the senior person decide and other followers, junior persons may follow the assessment. Evaluation, as example, HR manager may evaluate their HR executive, junior HR executive, or HR assistants. Likewise, evaluation is a top-down assessment, but the performance management is a joint process through the dialogue. When we are managing our employee performance, we are discussing among all the parties. It may be HR manager among the group. This group may include HR manager, CEO, chief executive officer, directors, line managers, other junior staff members. Likewise, by discussing all, by conducting dialogues between these all parties, we can manage, we can plan, implement, assess, and further development of performance management. In here, performance appraisal is a minor part, but performance management is a broad meaning. Performance management is a broad function, but performance evaluation is a part of it. Performance appraisal is basically based on the period, but the performance management is not the periodical actions. It is continuous. Most of the organizations, they use performance year. It means annual appraisal meeting. They are planning for the next year. At the end of the next year, they will. Now we are in October. In after 2 months, each and every organizations will start their new year. Therefore, now they are planning their next year performance plan. For that, they are discussing annual performance, annual appraisal. how they are going to evaluate their employees' performance in the next year. But performance management is not for the year-based and world-based. They are continuously reviewing what they are doing, and they are identifying how they improve their performance. In the performance appraisal, the next one is use rating. Rating means, I think you have experience with the ratings. There are several types of rating scales: 5-point Likert scales or 7-point Likert scale, three Likert scales. Likewise, there are ratings. Maybe starting from the very good to very bad, very high to very low. Likewise, there may be ratings. At the middle, there may be neutral, or there may be moderate, but the left corner may be very high, right corner may be very low. Likewise, rating scales. Some other questionnaire may see number 1 for very low, number 5 indicates that very high performance. Likewise, when we are using when we are doing performance evaluation, we are using these rating scales. But performance management, very rarely, or rating is not a common. Some part of the performance management may use the rating, but rating may not play a significant role in the performance management. But the performance evaluation, ratings may be plays very significant role. In the next, monothetic system. It means there are a set of rules and regulations need to be followed when we are doing performance evaluation. But when we are when we are doing performance management, we have flexible process. We have planned for the performance. We have organizing procedures, but with the environmental changes and other factors, we can change that plan as well. In this situation, now we are in the pandemic situation. We are planning for the next year, but we have no clear picture about the next year. Very difficult to forecast how this pandemic may be in next year. Therefore, our performance management process may be flexible. But in the performance evaluation, there may be some approaches. At the end of last 2 weeks, we need to complete our performance appraisal that is given. We need to complete this performance evaluation. We need to complete performance evaluation forms and procedures in last 2 weeks. Performance appraisal is basically focused on the quantified objectives, like number of units produced by the employee. But in the performance management, basically focus on values and behaviors as well as the objectives. Not only the objectives, but in the performance appraisal, basically focus on the objectives, quantifiable objectives. But performance management, not only the objectives, they are focusing on values, behaviors, and the broad perspective. performance appraisal, we were discuss about it is annual appraisal meeting. It is linked with the pay. How much we are going to pay for the annual bonus, how much we are going to pay for the production allowances. Likewise, we are totally depend on the performance appraisal. Therefore, there is a strong relationship between performance appraisal and the pay management. But the performance management is decided by the top management. It is directly not only linked with the pay management, they are directly linked with the organization strategic plan. Not only the pay is part of that, but performance management is directly linked with the overall organizational strategic plan. Performance appraisal is administrative task. It is complex paperwork, highly concerned about the performance evaluation forms and procedures. They are going to complete timely. They are maintaining records. They are maintaining attendance records. They are maintaining production records. Likewise, these complex paperwork are highly depends on the performance appraisal is highly depends on these complex paperwork. But performance management is not only the documentation part. There are documentation part, that part is very less or minimum part of the entire process, entire management function. And the other differences between performance appraisal and performance management owned by the HR department. Performance appraisal is directly responsible by the HR department. But performance management, how much they need to achieve at the end of this year, and the way of what is the way of they are achieving these performance goals and objectives. Likewise, these key decisions are taken by the line managers. If we are planning for the performance of operational level employees, production employees, that is directly linked with the production manager. That is not, that part is cannot decide by the HR manager. Therefore, performance management is owned by the line managers. But after deciding their performance goals and objectives, that was administered by the HR department. That appraisal part is done by the HR department. That is another difference between excuse me. Thank you. I think now you have clear idea about the differences between performance appraisal and the performance management. But with that, now we have clear idea about the performance evaluation and management, the central. But without performance evaluation, we cannot manage the performance. Therefore, performance evaluation or performance appraisal is a central part of the performance management. If we are identify This is performance evaluation. This is the performance management. This is the bigger part of the performance management. Performance management is more, but the central part of performance evaluation, the central part of performance management is performance evaluation. Without performance evaluation, we cannot do the performance management effectively and efficiently, productively. But performance management is more than the performance evaluation. I think one of you are mute.
Oh.
Muted. If you have any questions, 20301. We can identify there are two types of performance evaluation: formal and informal performance evaluation. Before studying the informal performance evaluation, it is easy to identify. We are focusing on formal performance evaluation, then we can easily identify what is informal performance evaluation. Formal performance evaluation is a system set by the enterprise to regularly and systematically evaluate employees' performance. Formal performance evaluation is an evaluation of employees' performance in planned and systematic with the system, with the regular systematic process that is set up by the enterprise, set up by the organization. All the decisions are taken by the organization. Then, based on the predetermined decisions or plan, we can evaluate our employee performance. It is called formal performance evaluation. Without this predetermined, when we are going to do something, we need to take some key decisions. With the plan, we can do. Without plan is also we can do the same thing. In here, formal means with a plan. We are doing performance evaluation with a plan. It means that basic decisions are taken by the formal way, systematic way. But informally means without taking serious attention on the previous decisions, we can do. Your studies is also can do the formally or informally. In here, under the public university system, now you are studying human resource management. That is formal way. But without following these degree programs, you can learn human resource management by studying self-learning, by using self-learning or reading books, watching videos. Likewise, there are several ways you can learn human resource management or performance evaluation. It is informal. I think you are familiar, you are clear with the formal and informal performance evaluation. In this course, we are going to discuss about more focus on the formal performance evaluation. Okay. What are the characteristics of formal performance evaluation? It is a systematic and continuous process. It is a systematic. I think I discussed what is a system. It means now you have more idea about the the performance evaluation as a systematic process. It's a personal activity. It means it's based on the control contract of employment. It's going under the human resource management functions. This is because of the relationship between employer and employee, that is called contract of employment. Under the labor law and industrial relations, you may learn about more on contract of employment concerned with inputs, outputs, and values of employees, team, or organization. This is not only the output. We already discussed the performance, or it is highlighted that outputs, but in here performance evaluation, we are not only focused on the outputs, we are focusing on both inputs and outputs. What they achieve and how they achieve. Inputs mean the resources and the way, effort, and values of employees, teams, or organization. This formal performance evaluation is also flexible. We have already decided, but these decisions can be changed on the environment requirement and the focus on the development. Why we are doing performance evaluation? The basic concern is development. We need to develop, therefore we are doing performance evaluation. Then we are moving to the next part, importance of performance evaluation. Why we important performance evaluation? We can identify that we can discuss this importance of performance evaluation in the context of management as well as in the context of human resource management. Firstly, moving to in the context of management, there are 4 management functions: planning, organizing, controlling, leading, and controlling. Controlling means, I'm not going to discuss what is plan, what is organizing, what is control, leading, and we are only with the controlling. With that understanding, we can move to the controlling. What is the controlling mean? We are confirming that we are in the plan way or not. We are achieve our plan expected outcomes or not. We are confirming that we are achieved expected outcomes or not. That is the basic concerns of controlling functions. In the performance evaluation is also we are going to confirm our employees are perform what we are expect from the performance our employees. Therefore, we are going to ensure our employees' actual performance is confirmed to the plan performance. Without performance evaluation, we have no way to confirm our actual performance is aligned with the plan performance. The performance evaluation is the only way we can confirm or we can ensure that our actual performance is with the plan performance. Therefore, performance evaluation is also can also be viewed as applications of controlling functions. කාර්යඵලයේ ඉන්නේ වැදගත්කම අපිට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රධාන ශේෂ්ත්‍ර දෙකක් යටතේ එකක් තමයි කළමනාකරණය, applications of controlling human resource management නැත්නම් මානව සම්පත් කළමනාකරණයේ යටතේ අපි කතා කරන්නේ මානව සම්පත ගැන. කොට මානව සම්පත කියලා කියන්නේ අනිත් අය බලා ගන්න නැත්නම් අනිත් සම්පත් මෙහෙයවන අනිත් සම්පත් පිළිබඳ තීරණ ගන්න සම්පත. එතකොට ඒක හරියට පාලනය වුණොත් තමයි අනිත් අය පාලනය වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා controlling කියන නැත්නම් පාලනය කියන ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක හොඳටම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕන ෆීල්ඩ් එකක් තමයි performance evaluation කියලා කියන්නේ. Therefore, performance evaluation is the important as the application of controlling function in the context of basic management, not the human resource management. But we need to control strictly our human resources because the total productivity or final productivity is completely depends on the productivity of human resource management. මානව සම්පත කියලා කියන්නේ හරියට ඉඩමක වැට වගේ නැත්නම් කුඹුරක නියර වගේ. ඒ නිසා අර කතාවක් තියෙනවානේ වැටත් නියරත් ගොයම් කාන කාට පවසම් කියලා. ඒ වගේ අපි වැටයි නියරයි බලා ගන්න ඕන නම් මානව සම්පත හරියට බලා ගන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා. ඒක බලන්නේ නැතුව අනිත් සම්පත් ගැන කොච්චර බැලුවත් වැඩක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Then the tool for enhancing productivity. I think you all are in third semester with your degree program. I previously also highlighted that the prerequisite course is the basic management course, basic principles of management. This efficiency and effectiveness and the productivity is also the concepts you already learned from this basic principles of management. Therefore, by using performance evaluation, we can enhance the productivity because performance evaluation directly linked with the efficiency, and performance evaluation is directly support to the enhancing effectiveness of any entity. Among the all resources, human resources are the most important resources, as I mentioned. Therefore, in the context of management, performance evaluation is very important because as a tool for enhancing the productivity, not only the efficiency but also effectiveness is also can be enhanced from the controlling or performance evaluation properly. In the context of human resource management as a key human resource management function, performance evaluation is also the key human resource management functions. Then specific purposes will highlighted that the importance of performance evaluation for the other human resource management functions we'll discuss further in the second session. In the context of human resource management, we can use as a tool for evaluation of human resource management. At the end of the time period, at the end of the given projects or specific time period, we can identify our HRM functions, how was productive. Can be evaluated only by the monitoring our employees' performance. If our employees are performing well, our HRM system is it was confirmed that our HRM function is also well performed. Therefore, performance evaluation is very important because of the context of human resource management as a tool for the evaluation of human resource management. If our employees are not performing well, hidden message is our HRM system is also fake. Therefore, by using performance evaluation data and information, we can decide how our HRM system is work. Moving to the next part, here is related into the performance evaluation. It's very important. The theoretical understanding about the performance evaluation. Some theories are supported that performance evaluation is very important for the employee's performance. Under this section, we are going to discuss, we'll discuss three main theories. The first one is goal theory. This goal theory, you can write down or you can highlight it, that goal theory is mainly focusing on the question how goal influence or impact on the employee performance. How goal is influencing on employee performance. It means if any employee or any person in the real life with you, if you have goal, clear idea, goal means clear picture about the end results. If you have clear picture about the end results, what you need to achieve, how it's impact on, how it's influencing on your final outcome. හිතන්න ඔයා A level කරන කාලේ ඔයාට හොඳ පිච් එකක් තිබ්බා. ඒ තුනක් අරගෙන ජපුරට එන්න ඕන. ඒ පිච් එක ඒ ක්ලියර් අයිඩියා එක තිබිච්ච එක නිසා ඔයා කොච්චර වැඩ කරා. දැන් ඇවිල්ලා සෙමෙස්ටර් දෙකක් ඉවර වෙලා ඒකෙත් රිසල්ට්ස් ආවට පස්සේ සමහරුන්ට ඒ පිච් එක ඒ විදිහටම තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේකෙත් විභාග තියෙනවා. මේ විභාග වලිනුත් හැම සෙමෙස්ටර් එකකටම ඔක්කොටම ඒ අරගෙන ෆස්ට් ක්ලාස් එකක් ලබා ගන්න ඕනි, හොඳ රිසල්ට්ස් එකක් ගන්න ඕනි කියලා සමහරුන්ට තියෙනවා පික්චර් එක, ගෝල් එක. එහෙම ගෝල් එකක් තිබුණොත් ඔයාගේ performance කොහොම වෙයිද කියන එක තමයි මේකෙන් කියන්නේ. සමහරු අර ආපු ගෝල් එක හරි දැන් කැම්පස් ආවනේ, ජපුරටත් ආවනේ, අනිත් ඒවාට වඩා අපි ලොකුයිනේ. එහෙම කියලා හිතාගෙන දැන් ඒ ගෝල් එක අතහැරලා ඉන්න අයත් ඉන්නවා. මේකෙන් කියන්නේ එහෙම ගෝල් එකක් තිබුණොත් ඔයාගේ අවසාන ප්‍රතිඵලයට ඒක කොච්චර බලපායි. අපි දැන් තියෙන ගෝල් එක අතහැරලා දාමු. තිබිච්ච ගෝල් එකෙන් ඔයාට එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් තියෙන නිසා ඒක ගැන කතා කරමු. A level ලියද්දි ඒ තුනක් ගන්න ඕන කියලා ගෝල් එකක් තිබුණා නම් ඒක ඔයාට කොච්චර උදව් වෙන්නේ නැද්ද ඒ තුනක් ගන්න. එහෙම ඒ තුනක් ගන්න ඕනෙත් නෑ, නිකන් පාස් වුණොත් ඇති. දැන් මම මේ O level පාස් වෙච්ච නිසානේ A level පන්තියට ආවේ. A level පාස් වුණොත් කැම්පස් යනවා. නිකන් එහෙම හිතාගෙන ලිව්වනම් ඔයාගේ රිසල්ට්ස් එක ඔයගේ වෙයිද කොහොම වෙයිද? එනිසා මං හිතන්නේ ඒකම ඇති ගෝල් තියරි එක තේරුම් ගන්න. If you have clear picture about the end results, that picture how influencing on your final outcomes. This theory emphasizes in performance evaluation on setting and agreeing goals against which performance can be evaluated. Under the performance evaluation is also we are planning performance. අපි තීරණය කරන අනාගතයේ අපි ගන්න ඕන ප්‍රතිඵලය මොකක්ද? එහෙම තීරණය කරන එක අපේ performance වලට මොන වගේ බලපෑමක් කරයි? එහෙම කරන බලපෑම් හතරක් මේක පැහැදිලි කරලා තියෙනවා. highlight කරනවා මේ theory එකට අදාළව. Goal directly attention to the priorities. ඔයා ගන්න ඕන results එක ඔයා තීරණය කරොත් තමයි ඔයා කරන වැඩවල priorities ප්‍රමුඛතාවයන් තීරණය කරන්නේ. If you have clear picture about what you are going to attain at the end of the semester, what results? Now you have your results sheet. If you are imagining what results you need to get at the end of this semester, with that clear picture, you can organize your work. You can prioritize your work. How many times you study one lesson? How many times you allocate for your study books? How many times you allocate for your sports? Likewise, priorities depends on your goal. Then the secondly, it was highlighted that stimulate efforts. If you have clear picture what you need, that stimulate your effort. ඔයාගේ මානසිය, ඔයාගේ කැපවීම, ඔයාගේ උත්සාහය උත්තේජනය කිරීමක් කරනවා. ඔයාට හොඳ picture එකක් තියෙනවා. If you have no clear goal or clear picture about what you need to achieve, your effort will not stimulate. ඔයා නිකන් ඔහේ යන්නම් වාලේයි ඔයාගේ effort එක ඔයාගේ මහන්සි වෙන්න පුළුවන් කාලේ ඔහේ ගෙවිලා යයි. නිකම් කාලේ ගත වෙලා යයි. හැබැයි ඔයාට goal එකක් තිබුණා නම් ඔයාගේ effort එකට ඒක උත්තේජනයක් බවට පත්. Third one, the goal challenge people to enhance their knowledge and skills. If you have goal, ඔයාට හොඳ goal එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයා මේ semester එකේ ඉවර වෙද්දී හැම paper එකකටම ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් විතරයි උත්තර ලියන්න. ඔයා මේ semester එකේ ඉවර වෙද්දී ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් විතරයි පාඩම් කරන්න කියලා. එන්න ඒ වගේ goal එකක් ඔයාට තිබුණොත් ඒක බලපානවලු ඔයාගේ knowledge එකට සහ skill එකට. ඔයාගේ English language skill එක develop කරන්න ඔයාගේ goal එක ඔයාට challenge කරනවා. ඔයා එහෙම goal එකක් හදාගත්තොත් ඒක challenge කරනවා. වැඩේ කියන්නේ ඉතින් අපිට challenge කරන්න කලින් අපි goal එකට challenge කරනවානේ. එහෙම වුණාම අවුරුද්ද අන්තිමට goal එක දෙනලා අපි පරදිනවා. එහෙම නැතුව goal එක ඔයත් එක්ක තිබ්බොත් තමයි මේ කියන knowledge එකයි skill එකටයි බලපෑමක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ goal එක දිනලා ඔයා පරදිනවා කියලා කියන්නේ goal එකත් එක්ක ඔයා තරඟයක නිරත වෙලා අන්තිමට අම්බ පුළුවන් නම් මාව ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් ලියවපන් වගේ තැනකට ඔයා goal එකට challenge කරන තැනකට යන්න ගියොත් හැමදාම goal එක දිනනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ paper එක හැමදාම ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් තමයි හැදෙන්නේ. හැබැයි ඔයා හැමදාම පුළුවන් නම් ලියන්නේ සිංහලෙන් තමයි. එහෙම වෙන්න දෙන්න එපා. ඒකටයි මම ඒ උදාහරණ ගත්තේ. The more challenge final one, the more challenging goal, the more people will draw their full capacity. ඔයා දවසකට කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩ ටික මේ එක lesson එකක් නැත්නම් මේ අද දීපු hand out එක බලලා ඉවර කරන්න ඔයාට පුළුවන් එක පැයකින්. හැබැයි ඒක ඔයා challenge ඔයාගේ goal එකක් විදිහට තියාගන්න නැතුව ඔයා තියාගන්නවා මේ සතිය ඇතුළත මේක බලලා ඉවර කරනවා. එතකොට ඔයාගේ capacity එක අච්චර ලොකු තැනක තිබුණා වුණත් අන්තිමට සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඔයා කැපැසිටි එකට චැලෙන්ජ් කරලා පුළුවන් නම් පල්ලෙහාට ගේන්න වගේ වැඩක්. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව ඔයාට පුළුවන් නම් කැපැසිටි එක චැලෙන්ජ් කරලා ඊට වඩා ලොකු තැනකට ගෙනියන්න ගෝල් තියරි එකේදී කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ ගෝල් එක චැලෙන්ජ් කරනවා ඔයාට බැරි දෙයක් නැහැ. මේ කියන්නේ අමාරු දේවල් වුණත් ගෝල් එකකින් achieve කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. The more challenging goals will grow their full capability. කියන්නේ හැම වෙලාවෙම අපේ capability එක චුට්ටක් ඉස්සරහින් අපේ challenge එක තියාගන්නවා. ඔක හොඳටම කරන අය තමයි garment manufacturing organizations. හැමදාම garment එකකට ගියොත් ඔයාට experience එක තියෙනවා නම් සමහර වෙලාවට ඒ ඇඳුම් මහන්න නැත්තම් කෑලි මහනවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙන්නේ piece of work මුළු ඇඳුමක්ම මහන්න නෙමෙයි ඒකෙන් ටාගට් එකක් සෙට් කරනවා. ඒ ටාගට් එක හැමදාම තියෙන්නේ පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා ඉස්සරහින්. 100ක් මහන්න පුළුවන් කෙනාට කවදාවත් 100ක් කියලා ටාගට් එක දෙන්නේ නැහැ. එයාට දෙන්නේ 145ක් 150ක්. එතකොට තමයි එයා 110ක් මහන්නේ. අපේ ජීවිතය සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි ගත්තොත් අපි මේ චැලෙන්ජ් එක තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ අනිත් පැත්තට අපිට 100ක් පුළුවන් වෙලාවට අපි තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ 20ක්. එහෙම වුණාම අපේ කේපබිලිටි එක පුළුවන් තරම් ඉක්මනට අපි හොයාගෙන එනවා පල්ලෑ පැත්ත. The second theory is reinforcement. Here is also we can identify the basic question. Reinforcement means the feedback. The basic sections of this relating to this theory is how feedback impacts on performance. How feedback impacts on performance. It means the goal theory is opposite side of this theory. Feedback. goal එකක් කියලා කිව්වේ අපි යමක් කරන්න කලින් තියාගත්ත අරමුණක් නේ. feedback එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි යමක් කරාට පස්සේ ඒකට හම්බ වෙන feedback එක. ප්‍රතිචාර. මේක හොඳටම ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් අය තමයි චූටි ළමයි දිහා බලන්න. කවුරු හරි ළමේ උදාහරණයක් විදියට චූටිම කාලේ දරුවෙක් එයා මුත්‍රා පිට කරන්නේ නැත්තම් මල පහ කරන්නේ ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ ඇඳේ. ඊට පස්සේ අවුරුද්දක් විතර යද්දී එයාට පුළුවන් නැගිටලා බහින්න. ඇඳෙන් බැස්සට පස්සේ එයා ඒක කරන්නේ කාමරේ එයාට හදලා තියෙන චූටි කොමඩ් එකක් නැත්තම් ඔය අපි හිතන්නේ අපි කොයිකින් වගේ ගත්ත ප්ලාස්ටික් කොමඩ් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒක. ඊට පස්සේ එයා ඒකට පුරුදු වෙනවා. අම්මෙක් හරි තාත්තෙක් හරි අර ඇඳ උඩ අර කියන වැඩේ කරාම හොඳයි නරකයි කියලා මුල්ම කාලේ කියන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ළමයාට තේරෙන කාලෙත් එහෙම කරාම අපි යාට ෆීඩ්බැක් එකක් දෙනවා. අපි කිව්වොත් ළමෙක් චුටි බබෙක් කියනවා ආපෝ මේ ළමයා තාම ඇඳේ චූ දානවද? ඒ වගේ කතා. එහෙම කිව්ව ගම අම්මා එයා ඒ ෆීඩ්බැක් එක ගන්න. ඒ ෆීඩ්බැක් එක නිසා ඒ ළමයාගේ මානසිකත්වය මොකද වෙන්නේ? ලැජ්ජා සාගත භාවයට පත්. එහෙම වුණාම එයා ඒ ෆීඩ්බැක් එක තුලින් එයාගේ චර්යාවට වෙනසක් කරගන්න. මේගොල්ලෝ මට ඒ චූටි ළමයාගේ මනස හිතනවා ඇයි මට අද මෙහෙම කිව්වේ? මට ඇඳේ චූ ගිය නිසා. එහෙනම් මම ඊළඟ දවසේ මේ කතාව අහන්න නැතුව ඉන්න නම් මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ? කොහොම හරි ඇඳේ චූ දාන්නේ නැතුව ඉන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම මනස හුරු කරලා ඒ රීන්ෆෝස්මන්ට් ඒ ෆීඩ්බැක් එකකින් ඒ චර්යාව මොඩිෆයි කරගන්න. then තව චුට්ටක් ළමයා ලොකු වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ළමයා දැන් ඔය චර්යාව මාරු කරනවා අර ඇම්බරේ මුල්ලක තියලා තියෙන කුටි ප්ලාස්ටික් කොමඩ් එක. එතකොට අපි කියනවා හොඳයි කියලා. අන්න ඒ නිසා ළමයාට දෙන පොසිටිව් රීන්ෆෝස්මන්ට් එක නැත්නම් පොසිටිව් ෆීඩ්බැක් එක නිසා ළමයා හුරු වෙනවා ප්ලාස්ටික් කොමඩ් එකට අර තමන්ගේ චර්යාව මාරු කරනවා. ප්ලාස්ටික් කොමඩ් එකට චර්යාව මාරු කරාම අම්මා හොඳයි කියලා. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඒ චර්යාව මොටිවේට් වෙනවා. ඒ චර්යාව මොටිවේට් වෙනකොට ඒක නැවත නැවත කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. දැන් ඒ ළමයා අවුරුදු 5ක් 6ක් වෙලා ලොකු ළමෙක් වෙනවා, ඇවිදිනවා කියනවා, කරන්න තමන් කරන චර්යාව පිළිබඳ තමන්ට හොඳ අවබෝධයක් එනවා. දැන් මේ ළමයා එළියේ ගේ වටේ හැමතැනම සෙල්ලම් කර කර ඉඳලා ආය ඇවිල්ලා අර කාමරේ මුල්ලේ තියෙන ප්ලාස්ටික් කොමඩ් එකට මේ වැඩේ කරනවා නම් ඒ වෙලාවට ආයෙත් මොකක්ද අම්මා කරන්නේ? දැන් අර පළවෙනි අවුරුද්දේ වගේ අනේ හොඳයි හොඳ පුතා කියලා මොටිවේට් කිරීමක් කරන්නේ නැහැ. රීන්ෆෝස්මන්ට් එක වෙනස්. ෆීඩ්බැක් එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඔහු මෙච්චර ලොකු ළමෙක් ගේ වටේම ගිහිල්ලා ඇවිල්ලා සමහරලා টয়ලට් එක ළඟ ඇඟි මුත්තම් කරලත් මේ ළමයා ඇවිල්ලා කාමරේ නම් චූදාන්නේ. අන්න ඒ වෙලාවට ඒ රීන්ෆෝස්මන්ට් එක කාලෙත් එක්ක වෙනස්. එතකොට ඒ දෙන රීන්ෆෝස්මන්ට් එකත් එක්ක ඒ ළමයාගේ චර්යාව ආයෙත් මොකද? behavior modification. I think now you have clear idea about the relationship between reinforcement and the behavior. It means the feedback and behavior. By using this reinforcement, by changing your reinforcement, you can modify your expected results, expected behavior. That's the nature. If you or if anyone appreciate your work, any people will do again and again the same behavior, like our children boys, little boys. If anyone demotivate our behavior, we are reducing, we are moving out from our behavior. That's the nature of, that's explained by the reinforcement theory. Therefore, when we are moving to the employee performance evaluation, if we need to motivate some employee behavior, what we need to do? In this theory, if we are looking positive behavior or positive outcomes, we can motivate by giving positive feedbacks. Then we can expect repetitive positive outcomes from our staff. But if we need to minimize some negative behaviors or negative results, what we need to do? If we are giving negative feedback, some punishments, verbal warning, likewise. That is the relationship between the feedback and the performance. That was explained by the reinforcement theory. The next theory relating to the performance evaluation is social cognitive theory. In here is also the basic question is how self-efficacy impact on the employee performance. The basic question of this theory relating to this theory, how self-efficacy, what's the self-efficacy? What you believe you can, it is your efficacy. If you believe you can achieve the first class in your degree, how it's impact on your final merit or class of your degree. Now you have emerging. Now you have clear idea about what you can do. මට පුළුවන් first class එකක් ගන්න. මට පුළුවන් second upper එකක් ගන්න විතරයි. මට පුළුවන් general pass එකක් ගන්න විතරයි. එහෙම කියලා ඔයා දැන් හදාගෙන ඉන්න එක තමයි ඔයාට අන්තිමට හම්බෙන්නේ. That's explained by the social cognitive theory. If our employee build their positive self-efficacy or self-beliefs, they can achieve more. That was explained by the social cognitive theory. That is the theories relating to the performance evaluation. We discussed three main theories: goal theory, reinforcement theory, and social cognitive theory. How these theories are relating to the employee performance. Okay. The last part of the today's session is roles of performance evaluation. According to Mitchell Armstrong in 2006, there are 4 parties need to collaborate, involve in performance evaluation. Each and every organization, top managers, line managers, HR department or HR specialists, as well as employees in generally, they need to contribute to the success of performance evaluation. If not, the performance evaluation cannot be success. They have their own roles, moving to the top managers, but they need to do. Top managers are the part of key decision makers. Performance evaluation is also important as a part of management function, controlling function. Therefore, there is a relationship between top management and performance management. Performance management to involve their top manager by taking leadership, set directions, act as a role models, and define acts upon core values relating to the performance evaluation. Likewise, there are several given roles to the top managers. Not only that, the top managers need to convince and motivate line managers and other HR managers, other managers, and all other employees to the proper functioning of performance evaluation. If top management do not believe performance evaluation is very important for the organization, the smooth functioning of performance evaluation may not be success. Therefore, the top management need to play a leadership role in the performance management. Moving to the line managers, it means when we are focusing on the production organization, production and marketing managers need to involve or take part of the performance evaluation. They need to establish performance goals and objectives. They need to formulate performance evaluation policies, as well as they need to evaluate their subordinates. Otherwise, we cannot succeed in our performance evaluation process. The role of HR department or HR specialist. HR specialist mean the performance evaluation specialist. They have special deep knowledge about the performance evaluation. Then they have their own role to succeed the performance evaluation. all the line managers and other HRM functions related managers, top managers, just doing the fill up pay forms and procedure. By using procedures, they will not take a serious part of this performance evaluation. Therefore, HR department become a leadership, need to take a leadership role to explaining in importance of performance evaluation to the top managers and all other relevant parties. Line managers may be generally employees. They need to ensure proper functioning of performance evaluation. All the general employees in performance evaluation take part of the performance evaluation, especially in their rewards and future effects for promotions. Most of the promotions and rewards are based on the performance evaluation results. On the other side, 360-degree assessments, they need to take an active role in their performance evaluation. These all the employees need to take part of this performance evaluation. Likewise, without supporting these all the employees, it cannot succeed our performance evaluation function. That's all about the introduction part of performance evaluation. Today we discussed about what is performance evaluation, describe the difference between performance appraisal and performance management, then the nature of performance evaluation, formal and informal performance evaluation, list of characteristics of formal performance evaluation, and the importance of performance evaluation in the context of general management and in the context of human resource management. Before moving to the role of HR manager, line managers, and HR specialist, we discussed some theories: social cognitive theory, goal theory, and reinforcement theory. How it was impact on employee performance. Likewise, we discussed these all key points of the today's session. We covered. These are the review questions you can use to review your knowledge by answering these questions. I think that's enough for today for the introduction part of performance evaluation. Anything to ask?